Good morning. It's Julie. This is day 5 of my favorite things that have helped me in my life to lead a happy and productive, positive, moving forward each day in a positive light. And so I'm going to ask you, are there ever situations that you have in your life on a daily basis even that cause you anxiety or cause you stress? You don't have the confidence and all the insecurities that you may feel that you think you have all, hidden down, pop up and rise to the fore. Okay, so what am I talking about? Maybe an interview for a new job or a talk in a public place, speaking to strangers that you don't really know and you're trying to strike a conversation up with, going on that first date, uh, giving a talk, whether it's in school or at a business meeting or, at your church, whatever, those things all of a sudden rises up the insecurities of not being confident. So what do you do? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's something that I can help you with, and I know that it's helped me. My name is Julie Barnett. I am a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 9, and I am one who loves essential oiling and have found them to be a huge part of my life to help me have a great life. And so this is a series of all the oily goodness, and so this is day 5. And what we're going to be talking about today, Valor. In the past 4 or 5 days, I have said that I've had these specific oils that have been my absolute favorites, and they are. But Valor is something from day one when I started looking into essential oils that I have used and still use on a daily basis to get me up and get me out of the house. So, sorry, ignore. I'll have to get back to them later. Anyway, so are there any circumstances like that you have come up with in the course of the day? I know there are. Everybody has them. So resolving a disagreement or a conflict with a loved one, that's very stressful. Hey, Sandra Jordan, how are you? Terry McMillan. An interview for a new job, speaking with a stranger. These are ones I've mentioned. Public performance, a first date, calling a potential client, doing, prospecting somebody. So all those things, of course, when I get on this thing, all the bells and whistles start to that doesn't rise your stress level at all. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? Put this all over me. I should have did it before. Hey, if you got your Valor, if you're an oiler and you got your Valor, take it out and put some on. Boy, it is the best smelling stuff ever. Okay, so this is what helps me override all those things that would bring a stress level onto me and cause me angst, and I don't want that. So what Valor does is help me focus on the task rather than the insecurities that may be rising up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as I've done in the past 4 or 5 days, is read off some of the ingredients that are in here, because every time Gary Young has ever produced an oil, he takes a lot of time to really figure out what oils are going to work synergistically together to give you the benefit, the most benefit for what he is trying to achieve in people, or what we need to have achieved in us. The more stress we feel, the more free radicals build up. Stress is a killer of people, and we don't realize. So if there's any way that we can help contain that or push it down a little and have the better feelings rise up, don't we want to do that? Absolutely. And so that's where these oils come in, and so that's where Valor comes in. Just to give you a little tidbit, and this is a story that's been around Young Living people for a long time, and I believe it's true, that the soldiers back in the Roman days used to use different oils and bathe in different oils before they would go out to war. And those oils were there to build confidence. Hey, Mandy, how are you? That would build confidence in them for them to go face the fears of going to war and not knowing what the outcome would be. And so they would bathe in all these different oils. Well, of course, Gary Young found that recipe and brought it home. And that is why they call it Valor. because valor, courage, all those things are what we need to face the days these days. We're all under so many stresses and different things, and so we need a little extra help. And so I thought that was really interesting that if the Roman guards and the soldiers who were mighty fighting men needed to bathe in this stuff, how much more so do we who are in, in this time of the system when things are so tough on us? So valor, that's what I use. It's a calming, grounding, mentally and emotionally balancing oil. And so that's why I love it. And it goes with all those other oils that I've been talking about during the week. And as far as the free radical thing, if you didn't hear my video yesterday about Ninja Red, really scavenging those free radicals and kicking them out because of all the stress we're under, that's a good one to listen to because that stuff is amazing. Okay, so to go on, what is in Valor? Well, some of the things I really couldn't talk about because I'm not a doctor and I can't say the power of some of the oils that he's put in here, but do your homework. Do me a favor, get a pencil out and write down the oils that I'm going to tell you about, and then go do a little research, and that will give you a much better idea of how powerful these oils are and why they were put together into this one blend. Okay, so the first one is a fractionated coconut oil. That is in there, excuse me, because the different oils have different volume or heaviness, and so to make them all blend together really nicely, they put a carrier oil in there, but it's a really high fractionated carrier oil, so the molecules remain very, very small so that it will penetrate the skin just like the oils themselves. So and it also gives it a very long shelf life when you have a carrier oil like that, where if you use olive oil within 2 or 3 months, if you used olive oil, you will find that it smells rancid. And so that's because it doesn't have a long shelf life. This fractionated coconut oil does. And so with this blend, they use that. They also use spruce. So we learned the other day about spruce being a very, very grounding oil, one that helps block emotional, let me just read it. I'm going to go here. It says it opens and releases emotional blocks, fostering a sense of balance and grounding. And that's exactly, I'm telling you, that's exactly what it does. And it does it within seconds of putting it on. Okay, so spruce. So write that one down and then go look it up about, all the different capabilities of it that I am not really allowed to say. Rosewood. Rosewood is also very grounding and strengthening. And so that is why it's put there. But there's several other capabilities that it has that you should know about. Blue tansy, it says it helps to cleanse the liver and lymphatic system, so it supports that. I'll say that it supports those systems, which if you don't know, anger is kept in, is stored in your liver. So a lot of times if you have any kind of liver anxiety, I didn't say that word, liver whatever, it's because you're storing your anger there and you want to get that over with. And so to overcome your anger and your negative emotions and promote feelings of self-control, then these are the oils that you would use, the ones that I've said in the past and today, Valor. Frankincense is also a super, super oil. It's very high in monoterpenes. And so, like we talked about the other day, it helps open up the mind, it oxygenates the mind, it goes through your pineal gland right into your limbic system. So it's a very uplifting and oil that can help change your emotions very quickly. And this is all known. You can go out there and do some research and you'll see that this is true. But it's just something that you have to do a little bit of research on yourself. So that is Valor. And so Valor to me is just one of the oils that I have used. There's actually something called the Happy Day Protocol, which day one is one of the reasons I got into these oils and essential oiling is and I mentioned this the other day, so I don't want to get off on it, but I just needed help with controlling my emotions, feeling more balanced, and getting off of a lot of the toxic crap that is handed to you when you're feeling that way. And so I didn't want to keep going on to those, because once you're on one of those, 3 months later, you're on something else, and then something else to counteract the effects. And so I was just so done with that. And so I really started looking into essential oils, and boy, are they they've just been an answer to a prayer, really. Okay, so Valor is also used in the raindrop technique. You could do a little search on that. All you got to do is Google it and it'll come up because it's a very well known uh, massage therapy, if you will, for the back. And we know that the back and all the nerves come from your backbone. So, a lot of the way we hold our stress and the things that are going on in our life settle in our neck and our back. Well, Valor is there to help soothe um, and relieve some of that. Again, if you go and you look up the oils, spruce, rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense, and you will see why it was something that would be put on your back. In fact, it used to be called, and I'm not even sure I can say this, I hope I don't get blurped for it, but anyway, we always called it the chiropractor in the bottle. And so it helps to align your back. If you go to a chiropractor, I would be taking my Valor, I love chiropractors, and have them put that on my back before and even after an adjustment, because not only does it help loosen up the area back there so that the adjustment will go better, it keeps the adjustment quite a bit longer. So if you're having, it's the time of season where you're either raking outside because of leaves, or now today we had a good lot of snow. Not that we're going to be shoveling, but that season is coming soon. And so if you tend to have to get out there and do all that, you know that the stress is put on your back and your hips and your knees and all that. This is a perfect oil to get massaged in there to help relieve some of that stress off of there. So if it seems like I'm really talking a little weird, it's because I just want to be compliant. I don't want to get in any kind of trouble for saying things that I shouldn't, because I am not a doctor. And so I can't prescribe, but I can only tell you that, these things have worked for me from day one. Okay, so I wanted to read one more thing. By remembering what I can do to feel brave and confident, I am able to lessen the amount of stress. I experience an extraordinary feeling of freedom and of strength. And that is absolutely true. Every day I leave this house, I put this stuff on because I'm never knowing what I'm going to encounter out there. And I just love it. And another thing. Anytime I go near anyone, they just hug me and they linger in the hug and they love the smell and they always ask me, what are you wearing? 99% of the time, it's either Magnify My Purpose or Valor. And so they kind of hang there because I love the smell too. Since constant stress produces cortisol, which is that hormone that keeps you in a stressed way, then free radicals build up your body. That accelerates aging. Who wants that? I don't want any more wrinkles than I already got. And so to keep our stress levels at a low level is a much better way to live. And so that's what I have for you today. Valor. It actually comes Valor 2. Valor 1, Valor 2. This is what I started with years ago, 5 years ago, and I just absolutely love it. But because the blue tansy, I think it was blue tansy, was very hard to get. They had a couple bad years of harvest that they came up with Valor 2. This is a huge seller for Young Living because there's so many people that feel so much stress and feelings of out of control. So people want to help balance that out. So Valor 2 was created. Now, what's the difference? I don't even know. I think there's like 9 different oils in here, where here there's 4. But the frequencies are the same. And that was the point when Gary remade this to get us through until the season came back where we had Valor. The frequencies are the same. So your frequencies are the level of, we all have frequencies. Everything in the world has a frequency, and certain frequencies promote different feelings. And so the frequencies in these 2 oils are the ones that are going to promote, emotional balance, grounding, feeling good, and confidence and courage. So that's what these oils are for, and I hope that's helpful. If you don't have them in your arsenal, you need to get them, especially if you I don't want to if you're an emotional person and sometimes you need reeling in and you need help with confidence, then this is the oil to use. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. It was good to see you on here, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. It's Monday through Friday. I'm doing these videos until I have all 10 of my favorites done. So I'll see you again tomorrow and then again on Monday. Okay, see you later. Thank you. Bye.